Hello everyone, welcome to Coder and Boots. Today we are going to discuss about how to deploy a website on Amazon EC2. I think the world is full of web applications, and we see almost every companies or every even a small shop they have a website. So this video helps you to understand the basics of how to deploy a website on a cloud service. So here we'll be using Amazon Web Services. So the list of softwares or the technologies that we are going to use in this video is: one is AWS. Okay, we need an AWS account. Okay, then for in AWS account we are going to provision an EC2 instance. Okay, then second is we will just do a basic web page using HTML. Okay, and we will use a web server Nginx. Okay, there are popular web servers. One is Nginx, another one is Apache HTTPD. So these are popular web servers available in the market, and these are open source. Nginx has a paid version as well, so we are going to use the open source version. So here, once we deploy, only the cost will be the running cost of the EC2 instance. I hope everyone are aware of EC2. This is the infrastructure as a service available from AWS. So this is Elastic Cloud Compute. So here we will get servers or machines. We can provision machines or servers of any capacity from the AWS Amazon Web Services account within few minutes. So we are going to provision an EC2 instance first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Amazon console. So this is my Amazon console. So I'm going to launch an EC2 instance. Okay, so I clicked on launch instance. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll provision an instance with, I'll take the operating system Ubuntu. Okay, first is selecting the operating system. I'm going to take the Ubuntu operating system, and this is the Amazon machine image. This is 22.04 Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So I'll choose that. Then what I'll do is this is the architecture. Okay, so architecture I'm going to pick up 64-bit X. See, there are two options available. One is ARM based processor, and second is Intel x86 processor. So I'll take this x86. Okay, so then next is I'm going to take T2 micro, the instance. Okay, so I'll take this T2 micro instance. So that is the size of the instance. Okay, so this T2 micro has one CPU. Okay, 1 GB RAM. Okay, 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. And next is I'm going to log into this instance. We need we will be using SSH. Okay, and we need to generate a key pair for that. So what I'll do is I'll create a key pair here. So I don't have key pair right now. I'm going to create a key pair here. So Coder website. Okay, so I'll download the private key in the form of PPK. This is specifically for the putty. I'll be using a software putty to access the EC2. Okay, so PPK, I'm going to download in PPK, and I'm going to click on create key pair. So what will happen is it will download a key file here, and this is the private key, and the public key for the same will be available in the server. Okay, in the VM. So next is it is asking the network configurations. So this is the VPC. Okay, and auto assign public IP, this we'll have to keep it on. Okay, enabled. And subnet, but I'm not selecting anything. It will basically select a default subnet in the in an availability zone within the VPC. Then security group, I'm going to create a new security group. Okay, so the security group, here I'll have to mention the rules, security rules. So here we need to enable two rules. One is SSH traffic not from everywhere. I want to enable it from my IP. Okay, so I'll allow SSH traffic from my IP, because don't enable this to everyone. Reason is then there is a chance attacks may happen to your server, because anyone can access from any IPs, any source. So even if they don't have the private key with them, the possibility of attack is very high. So always keep it open only to a specific IP. Don't keep it like to open anywhere. Okay, so this is my IP. And second is allow HTTPS traffic from the internet. This is required because when we open a website, so this is how like the traffic comes to the site. Okay, because it's through HTTPS, and HTTP also we will keep it open, but what we'll do is we'll not be exposing this website in an HTTP URL. We'll be making it in HTTPS, but we'll do a redirection from HTTP to HTTPS. Okay, so to make it because some people will be still using HTTP URLs. So if someone uses HTTP URLs, we will redirect from HTTP to HTTPS. Okay, so I have selected these two. Then storage I'll keep the minimal one. It's there is like an 8 GB configure storage. You can configure this to any size depending upon your requirement. Also you can add any new volumes. It's like disk. You can add any new disks in here in this machine by clicking on add new volume. Okay, so let's see what is there in the advanced details. So here there is spot instance. No, I'm not going to go with spot instance. Join directory. This is about like joining this machine to an active directory. No, I'm not going to join in directory. IAM profile. I'm not going to attach any profile. Instance recovery, shutdown behavior. These are basically like the backup and the recovery configurations. I'm not going to select any of these, and I think we are good with our configuration. We don't have to. I'm not interested in selecting any of these because this is not really required for us. For us, like we need a basic EC2 instance. So what we have taken is Ubuntu 22.04, T2 micro. Then we have created a security group. Then storage volume of 8 GB. Okay. So yeah. So and one more thing, like I'm going to use a free tier because for new accounts, 750 hours of T2 micro or T3 micro instances are free. Okay, for a year. So I'm going to click on launch instance. Let's see whether it gets provisioned. So it's going to launch the instance. Yeah, the instance got launched. So let's go to the console. I clicked on the link. Okay, so it is getting its instance state. If you see, it is pending, so it is getting provisioned. Okay, so I'll name this to Coder website. I am going to name the site. Okay, now it is in the running state. So this machine is up, and let me see the details of this instance. So this is the instance ID. This is the ID of this virtual machine internally in the Amazon. Okay, and this is the public IP. So this IP is a public IP of this machine, which is visible to the entire internet. So from anywhere in the internet, you can reach out to this instance through this public interface. So this is the private IP. So this is the private IP address of this machine within the subnet where it got provisioned. Okay, I'm not going to explain any of these networking related things, but what we need is this public IP. Okay, so I'm going to log into this machine through Putty. So Putty is like an SSH client software, so you can download it from the internet. So if you want to download it, you can just search in the internet Putty download. So you will get a site putty.org. From here you can download this Putty client. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is in the host name I put the IP address. Port is 22 by default. Connection type SSH, it's a default one. So here next thing we need to do is we need to add the key, because this is not a username password based authentication. This is a private key based authentication. Okay, so once I expand SSH, you will be able to see something called oath. Okay, so in the oath, if you expand further, you will see credentials. Okay, on click of credential, on the right hand side you can see private key authentication. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to browse the private key that we downloaded just now. So okay, I have referred to the private key here, then click on open. Let's see whether it opens or not. Yeah, okay, it's opening. This is just basically an alert message. I just need to click accept. Then the username is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu AMIs, for Ubuntu machines, the username is going to be Ubuntu. If you are using Amazon AMI, the username is going to be EC2 user. Okay, and if you are taking CentOS, it is going to be CentOS. The default user will be CentOS. In our case, it is Ubuntu. Okay, so now I am in the machine. Okay, so this is the machine. Let me increase the font size of this machine. Let me change the settings. Appearance, font. I'll use font size of 16, and color I'll basically use system colors. Oh, I hope this is visible. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to switch as the root user, sudo su hyphen. So this will switch me to the root user. Now I have full privileges in this machine. So first thing we are going to install is we are going to install Nginx in this machine. Okay, so to install Nginx, what we need, apt get install Nginx. Let's see whether this gets installed or not. Yeah, so it's asking the permission. So it is going to install a set of packages. So it is for installing Nginx, it needs these many dependent packages. Okay, so and so it is asking the permission. So I'm going to click on S. So it is installing. Okay, so for deploying a web application, so first we need to understand we need a web server which basically serves the web content of your website. Okay, so that is what we are using Nginx. We are going to use Nginx. So there are popular, as I already explained, there is another popular web server called Apache HTTPD. So you can use any of these. Okay, so maybe I'm not, you might have heard about something called LAMP. Okay, LAMP. Okay, so this in the earlier days people used to develop applications in PHP. Okay, so in that Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. A server with Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP is called LAMP. Okay, this is the LAMP stack. Similarly, like something called WAMP, it's same thing. It's Windows, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Okay, so in our case it is not Apache, it is Linux, Nginx. Okay, and we are not going to use any MySQL or PHP. We are just using Linux, which is the Ubuntu distribution of Linux, and Nginx. Okay. Okay, so what we need is we need this Nginx to be installed. We need to place the web content inside the Nginx. So in our case, I'm going to use a simple HTML, and it can be replaced with any other web application. We can develop nice websites in Angular or basically PHP or whatever language you prefer, or WordPress, anything, and you can deploy in this Nginx application, Nginx web server. So here now the Nginx got installed. Okay, now if you see, let's see service Nginx status. Okay, so now you see Nginx service is running. It's a running service. Okay, and Nginx, where is this? Let's review the configuration of Nginx. The configuration of Nginx is available in the place. Okay, /etc/Nginx. Let's see, /etc/Nginx conf. So Nginx, then Nginx.conf. The configuration of Nginx is located in the directory /etc/Nginx. Okay, inside this you can see the default configuration Nginx.conf, and you can override this with any of the configurations of your choice depending upon your need. So just now I have opened the Nginx conf file. Okay, so now if you see, this is the basic configuration that you see in this Nginx. Okay, so there are, you can override this with your required configuration, but right now this is the basic configuration. Okay, so if you see here, if you see, the logs are getting returned to access.log, var log Nginx access.log. Error logs are going to var log Nginx error.log. Okay, and if you see, it's basically including two additional directories. One is Nginx conf.d. Any configuration file with star.conf will be picked into this one. Similarly, etc Nginx sites enabled. If you put any files in this, those configurations also will get added to this Nginx. Okay, so let's try to see. Okay, so first thing is we have started Nginx. So something should come in the UI, web UI. Okay, so if you open the IP address, So let's open the public IP address in the browser. So once you open, you see it's showing the Nginx homepage. Okay, showing the Nginx homepage. So that means Nginx is up. Let me turn off this Nginx. If I turn off the Nginx, it should stop. Okay. Now if you refresh, see it is basically rotating, site can't be reached. That means this UI was up with the help of Nginx. So I am going to start it again. Okay, now I'm going to, okay, so if you see this directory /var/www/html, so this is the directory where Nginx, it's a directory, this is the default web root, document root of Nginx. Okay, if you place any HTML file here, Nginx will pick up that file and serve it. So let us try to create a sample file. Okay, HTML file. So I'm going to create a simple HTML file. Okay, so you can create nice HTML files of your choice. It could be a website or anything. Website. Okay, I'm just creating a sample HTML file. Okay, so I'm going to save it as HTML. Okay, so this HTML file is saved here. Now what we'll do is, let's test this file here. Okay, so let's open this file first. Let's see what is going to, let's open this file here. Okay, so this is right now open from my laptop. Okay, but this is not going to be accessible anywhere. It is open from my laptop. Now I want to place this file in the server. I'm going to use a tool called WinSCP. Okay, so WinSCP, it's similar to PuTTY, but in PuTTY what we got is we got a command line interface of that machine. Okay, so in WinSCP what we'll get is, this is the we'll be able to basically get the file browsing. This is the FTP option, okay, available to connect to that server. So here also we need the IP address of the machine. So we'll take the IP address of the machine. In the host name I have to copy the IP address, then username, it is Ubuntu. Okay, and I have to click on advanced. Then here in the authentication I'll have to pass the key, that is basically the one that we got some time back. Okay, now if I click on OK and login, so this will log into the machine. Now you will see, so this is into the machine. On the right hand side what you see is the machine's disk, and on the left hand side this is my system's disk. Okay, okay, so yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this file sample.html to this WinSCP, to this Ubuntu machine's home directory. Okay, it got transferred. Now it's just drag and drop, or you can basically specify the file name. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this file. So I'm not showing any advanced configurations, I'm just showing the basic configuration. So right now this is index, the default Nginx file, right? I'm going to rename this to something else, .vk. Okay, and I'm going to copy the file that I just copied to var www.html. Okay, if you see here, now you see sample.html is there. I'm just going to restart the Nginx service. Okay, so now let's see what happens in the website. If I click on this, you will see, okay, so it's showing forbidden. So because I'll have to do one small thing, let me check the file. HTML, okay, let us check the error logs. Nginx varlog nginx -f error.log. It is showing directory forbidden, index of directory forbidden. Okay, it is basically not allowing the request to reach or hit or access this particular directory. So we'll need to make some configuration changes in the nginx conf to enable this access. Nginx.conf. So let's see what we need to do. So let's examine the configuration file. So there is nothing that blocks the access to var www html in this configuration file, but let's check in this directory. Okay, looks there are some additional configurations that we can see in this directory. So let's go there. So cd/etc nginx sites enabled. So here I can see something called default. Okay, so let's open the default configuration. So here if you see, one is okay, listen to 80. Okay, that is fine. Root directory, you see the configuration is var www html. That is fine, perfectly fine. But here this is the problem. Okay, so what they have done is the configuration shows anything, it accepts anything with index.html, index.htm, index.nginx.html. So we have kept the file what sample.html. Okay, so what we can do is either we can add a new entry sample.html here, or we can rename our file to index.html. So instead of adding, what we'll do is let's rename our file to index.html so that it will allow the access. So let's go to var www html. Okay, mv sample.html to index.html. Now if you see, our file name got changed to index.html. Okay, oh, now it started rendering. If you see, now it is opening, so it works. But now you see browser started showing not secure. So this is the problem. Now if you see any request, let's see how the request goes. I am just inspecting this one, and if I hit this, you will see it's making an HTTP traffic to this particular IP address. Okay, so now we want in HTTPS. Okay, I don't want anything in HTTP. So what we need to enable SSL. Okay, and we need to block this HTTP traffic. So for that, we are going to do in the next video. So I hope you are clear. If you have any questions or doubts, feel free to comment below this video. I'll definitely reach out. I'll definitely respond back to you. Thank you very much for watching. So for enabling the SSL part was the part 2 of this video. Thank you very much.